have Edwin Jung, 25 years old, standing 5'8" out of Syosset, New York. 9 years of wrestling, 4 years of kickboxing, coming off of a finish win back in June, won by dart stroke in round 1. He's technical, composed, and well-rounded.
By what?
Dart stroke.
Oh, there we go. I love it.
Exactly. He's been the recipient of some of the most unfortunate moments fights I've seen him. First fight that he had, landed a beautiful hook, knocked his opponent down, followed him to the ground, kind of got smothered in his guard, and had his back taken and was choked out. Second fight was against Luis Salomon, who just won that title. And Luis surprised everybody and kind of buzzed on through in wrestling. Third fight was a decision. If I recall, Saul Vivas, and he was not a fan of how that one went. Said basically disagreed with it greatly, and then he kind of said like, no, he counts that one as not really a fight. This is not that one doesn't count.
The Sugar Sean O'Malley approach.
Exactly. And then I'm sorry, you had Tommy Cox in there too. I almost forgot about Tommy Cox in the second fight, and then finally righted the ship in his most recent fight back in June, where he got his finish win.
Listen, that's what the amateurs are for, right? I've long been a believer that I want my first fight to be a test. You don't want to get an easy fight your first fight because you start to drink your own Kool-Aid sometimes.
Exactly.
And you get these guys that maybe get 7, 8 wins before they lose, and then when they lose, it destroys some confidence in you. You know, I think getting those tough tests and having those could go either way, losses, whatever, it's great to have in the amateurs because once you go pro, none of it matters anymore, but it's all experience under your belt.
Exactly, and it's all moments where you get to see who you are. And that's so much of fighting is who are you in those moments of adversity.
And how you come back from that is big. You know, you see, when that's the biggest mark of a fighter, right? Seeing how they come back off of a loss, you know. For instance, Devin Worth, you know, our main event tonight, Dev had a very decorated kickboxing career up until the time he entered MMA, and he got shocked in his first fight, and he took a loss. The way he bounced back from that was the most impressive thing I had ever seen. And it was only 4 months later, but he bounced right back, got a submission win, right back on the horse, and that right there shows you what somebody's made of. You know, we've seen that how many times, not just with Devin, but obviously I'm close with Devin. That was fresh in my mind, but we've seen a lot of guys come back like that.
Even just in a fight, just Kenny Lopez and Issa. Issa winning the first round, and Lopez going back and turning around.
100%.
Back to Andy Parker.
Ready to make his way inside the cage, Chris Donnelly.
Here we have Chris Donnelly, 27 years old, standing 5'6" out of Levittown, New York. 15 years of wrestling in his back pocket. A 2-time Nassau County champion wrestler finalist. 2-0 in MMA. Rear naked choke in one of his fights. Split decision win in the other. He said, I'm a high-paced wrestler with some good boxing. So basically, these guys are tailor-made for each other. High-paced wrestling, high-paced boxing.
I love the walkout song.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was a little thrown back for a second, to be honest. He said, I will win this one way or another. He said, my long-term goal is to be the best fighter I possibly can be and eventually become a professional. He said his grappling, his cardio, speed, and agility will shine.
That's an interesting photo for Chris Donnelly.
Yeah, that is not, you know, of all the headshots I've seen, not the most impressive, but as long as his skills are, who cares?
Yeah, it looks more like a license photo than
exactly.
a fight photo.
License or a passport photo, one of the two. Me and D-Rock are just over here vibing to Notorious Thugs.
Yeah, I'm sold on the walkout music. Love it.
I'm telling you guys, one thing I've always loved is good walkout music. Like, it's an easy way to get the crowd on your side. They're having fun. Now they're going to see you fight. They might just root for you now.
Yeah.
I think that's an underrated thing that people don't always think about.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is an MMA bout held in the men's 125-pound flyweight division. Brought to you by Restorations. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This warrior stands at 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in 125 pounds. Fighting out of Syosset, Strong Island, New York, representing Law MMA. Help me welcome Edwin Jung. Introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This warrior stands at 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing 126 pounds, fighting out of Levittown, Strong Island, New York, representing Long Island MMA. Help me welcome Chris the Hurricane Donnelly. When the action begins, your third person inside the cage and your referee for this contest, Tommy the Warrior Rodriguez.
Not surprised we saw a shot that early in the fight for one of the fighters. Both these guys, such great wrestling.
Edwin Jung balancing off that left hand. That was impressive.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was kind of ridiculous just to balance that.
Breakdancer stuff right there. I wonder if he's got a background in breakdancing.
Were you just saying?
I was just saying, he should be anyway. He should be doing some dancing. He's trying to escape here.
So far, Chris Donnelly's living up to that nickname of the Hurricane.
Yeah.
Guy's a perpetual motion machine.
Very Tasmanian devil in his approach. Just picking out that ankle again and again and again.
And he cut that corner very, very well. Can't tell. He's got that arm trap too on that waist lock. Beautiful job by Donnelly.
Yeah, but to Edwin's credit, he's not taking any position there. He's fighting back to his feet each time. Like
he's not accepting these positions.
He's not sitting there and playing jiu-jitsu, as we were saying.
Donnelly is just relentless on his pursuit of this takedown. Jung's doing a good job, though, here fighting those hands. Good crossface. Beautiful job by Edwin Jung. Good hips here by Jung.
A good use of the cage there by Donnelly. Because that's the only thing about sprawling in MMA with a cage is eventually, if the opponent keeps driving, there's the cage there to stop your feet.
Yeah. Man, Donnelly is relentless. He has not given Jung a single second of separation yet.
Exactly. And with 15 years of wrestling behind him, all the championships and accolades, he can do this all night if he needs to.
Yeah, that is very apparent.
I know you alluded to Luis fighting Edwin before. I'd like to see Luis and Chris go at it.
That would be a fun grapple.
That would be a very fun contrast of styles. Oh! Jung's going to suck that leg up. He could have the crucifix here.
Wow! Edwin trying to get in on a back take here.
Oh, man. He had that arm trapped. I was hoping to see him snatch up that crucifix. Edwin's got to get busy here. Keep punching.
Yeah, with only 30 seconds left to work here, he needs to do something drastic to steal this round back.
Yeah.
Good awareness by Donnelly.
Edwin can't fall into the trap of just grappling here. Yeah, keep punching. That's the ticket there.
Great showing of wrestling by Chris Donnelly, but Edwin Jung not accepting any position. Constantly fighting.
Yeah, Edwin did a very, very good job of never letting Donnelly get the dominant position on him. Defended very well. Did everything right.
And a nice reversal at the end.
Yeah, and you know, that's the way that round ended. That could steal some confidence from Donnelly, you know?
And I wasn't real happy with the way Donnelly walked back to that corner. He was very wobbly. He was very, you could tell he was breathing real deep.
He's taking some deep breaths there in the corner.
So now the question is, how quickly does he recover? Because, you know, he may be a guy who can sprint for all 3 minutes, and then after that minute of recovery, he's back. We'll see in the first couple seconds of this next round.
I don't know if there was a single second of separation in that entire round.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You know, it's got to be a moment where you realize, like, what do I got to do to take this guy down? Like, Edwin is... Oh, there you go. Wow.
Good underhook.
This is going to start to chip away at the confidence of Donnelly, though. The harder those shots get and the less successful they get, it starts to steal confidence each time.
Yeah, and the calmness, the composure by Edwin is something to be admired. Look at this beautiful job with this underhook here.
I mean, Edwin's seen everything. We were talking about it in his walkout here. You know, he's in his short career, he's seen and experienced a lot. You know, his first several fights kind of helped prepare him for this. He's got that Kimura.
He's trying to get his hips out where he can get some oomph on it. Donnelly's doing a pretty good job of covering it with his body for now. We'll see if he can continue to do that.
Edwin's selling out to try to finish that. I thought he was going to maybe try to soothe it, but he's selling out on trying to finish here.
Donnelly's doing a good job of bringing body to hand, but now Edwin's got to pass the ribs. Now Donnelly's going to have to step over that hand. Donnelly needs to step over that hand like that. There. Now he can start hitting with that other hand. Oh, Edwin should come back and hit the triangle.
Edwin's got to get his hips involved here. This is all just arms right now in that Kimura. He's got to work to get his hips involved there.
Oh, good work. Now, if you're Donnelly, you're a real happy camper because Edwin kind of took himself down for you. By accepting that Kimura and taking that, now you've got the top position you wanted all along if you're Donnelly.
Yeah, this is what Donnelly wanted that entire first round, but couldn't accomplish.
Edwin back to his feet, but with Donnelly draped all over him. Nice knees.
Again, they don't look like much, but they do not feel good.
I'm telling you, I like the calm composure of Edwin. He's laughing right now.
Edwin's got to look to start getting back to his feet, though.
Yeah, because this is a little bit of that tick, tick, tick that we were talking about before.
Yeah, and when Donnelly gets in your center line there and he's not around your legs, that's the time to start building.
Oh, that's a pretty egregious cage grab there.
We've seen a bit of cage grab controversy on the day. That round a little tougher to score, right?
Yeah.
D-Rock, who are you giving that round to?
That's a tough round.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I if you valued your submission attempt, but ultimately, to me, it wasn't enough of an attempt, and Donnelly was able to get that dominant position and then kind of hold him against the cage. I think I might have to give it to Donnelly there.
Okay. James?
I'm torn. I mean, I agree with D-Rock's assessment. I could see how a judge could be swayed by that Kimura attempt, but similar to D-Rock, I didn't feel like it was close enough to fight ending to outdo all of the top control that gave Donnelly.
And there was never enough, in my opinion, Donnelly was never in enough trouble.
Yeah.
You know, he had an attempt set up. I don't know that he ever actually attempted it, though, if that makes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense.
So it all depends on how much that the judges really valued it.
Yeah.
In their eyes. If they valued it a ton, Edwin might have stole that round. If they think it was the other way around,
you could look at it as control in a way, but Edwin's got to get a little bit longer and stay in that jab range and let his hands go.
Edwin's got a box.
100 at box. I wouldn't be throwing any kicks for Donnelly to catch.
There's that shot you kind of talked about earlier where he's just going to shoot it from far and see what happens. And so far, it's working out for him.
Yeah, exactly. It hasn't. Again, it isn't broken, so he's not fixing it.
Well, Donnelly, you got to give Donnelly credit. He's got great awareness that he knows he's been able to push Jung into the cage, and once he gets into the cage, you see him cut that angle.
Yeah.
Edwin's really got to start to sell out on getting his hips high.
Right back.
Donnelly is just relentless.
Like a dog with a bone. He's just going right after it again and again. in front of. Is that Big Dan Mergliano?
I was gonna say, is that
It is. You know, if I'm Edwin here too, I would start throwing some submissions at Donnelly to make him have to adjust. Edwin needs to punch.
Yeah.
No wrestling here. Start punching. There you go.
Forget wrestling. Just get off of him and punch. Because Donnelly's going to do that.
You know, in this position with somebody like Donnelly, when I'm on the cage like this, you know, I would start fishing my hands just around his neck to make him, sort of like how I would on the feet, pumping a jab out there just to make you respect it a little bit.
Exactly.
Put the threat out there, maybe make him change course and start to have to maybe address it. Obviously not from this position, but
little threats. They don't have to be things you're going to get a top for right now, but the kind of things that force movement.
yeah, variables. Oh. Doesn't have the angle.
But see that? A variable. Edwin had to react to it, and it kept him on top that little bit longer.
Absolutely. Donnelly not looking to fish that second hook in at all.
He's got full wrist control, or at least he had it, and he was using that to maintain his top position. Now some knees would definitely get some love from Dave Torelli. He's right in front of him. Foot sweep would go a real long way here too if you're Donnelly.
Yeah, you know, I thought we were going to see a couple of them earlier, but he never. He doesn't want to give up any of that space at all.
Both really good fighters, man.
Yeah.
I'd love to see these guys back in.
Yeah.
I'd like to see almost an opponent swap for the last bout we just saw, right? Maybe a Chris Donnelly versus Luis Salomon, Edwin Jung versus Kamal Dunkley, something like that.
I wouldn't hate that.
That'd be fun, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Chris Donnelly throws the glasses on right away, like.
The glasses really, really do change the way
Yeah.
you see him.
Oh
Right?
my God.
He doesn't look mean at all right now, you know?
I think he's also out of fight mode too. I think if he put fight mode on, he would look at least similar. But at least now we know how Superman fooled all those people for all those years.
Go to Andrew Park for the decision. Is Andrew Park even in there?
Oh yeah, he is. I can see him on the monitor.
Teleported.
I don't know how that pink jacket was able to hide.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 3-minute rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard for our decision. Judge A scores the contest 30-27 for the red corner. Judge B scores the contest 29-28 for the blue corner. Judge C scores the contest 29-28 with your winner by split decision, Edwin Jung.
Again, like I said earlier, you never know.
Yeah.
I'd be honest with you, I don't agree with that.
Yeah,
At all.
I am with you. Even Edwin's body language when the fight was over was like, "Yep, I lost."
Do you think it's a situation where they maybe overvalued that Kimura attempt? That's what it would have to be, right?
Yeah, but in my opinion, clearly lost the first and the third anyway.
Yeah.
So did they see it more as like, yeah, he kept getting taken down, but he kept getting back up?
I don't know. I don't know how they thought about it.
Because, all right, we have to say that Kimura was very valued to give him steal that round for sure.
Yeah, I think it was more just a factor of like favoring the defense. They were like scoring for the defense of Jung more than the offense of
and that's, something